Hello and welcome to my video. I am Seriana and I can describe myself as a self-driven, hardworking and organized teacher who is passionate about her teaching subjects. I am a graduate from Laikipia University and I've spent the last 10 years honing my experience in various classrooms where I have taught, mentored and supported students to attain their academic goals. I am a certified examiner in chemistry. I have done trauma counseling and debriefing, and I'm also a handball coach. With these qualifications, I believe I'm a perfect fit in any school that has youngsters who are not only grappling with issues of drug abuse and other development problems, but also academic excellence as well. I love playing handball and traveling so that when I come back to class, I share my experiences with my learners. Why I decided to train in the subjects which I teach is one, because of poor performance. Ever since I was a student, up until now when I'm a teacher, sciences has always been regarded as a hard nut to crack. And I decided to become a teacher so that I can mentor more young people to undertake STEM-related careers, which we all know that they are increasingly becoming important in today's market. My involvement in co-curricular activities, I can consider myself a gem in any school. I'm not only excellent in class, I also do extra well in co-curricular activities. I participate in handball, playing of handball, basketball, and my interaction with learners outside the classroom enables me to know them better. This has made my teaching incredibly beautiful. The subjects I've taught and at what level, I've spent the last 10 years teaching chemistry and biology, and the age levels I've been handling are from 14 years of age up to 23. Yes, 23. I know that may sound a bit older, but we've been having cases of early dropouts from school where our young girls and boys drop out of school to go and indulge in early marriages and drug abuse. I normally encourage them when they realize they've made a mistake and they want to come back to school. I normally welcome them with open hands, and I tell them that life has its own way of giving people a second chance and that learning has got no age limits. How I prepare my lesson, I normally sit and draw what we call a lesson plan, and I consider it to be a very vital tool to any teacher because it helps me to plan on how to execute my lesson within a specified time. So in my lesson plan, it normally contains 4 columns. The first column is for time and content. The second column is for teaching learning activity. The third column for resource materials, and the fourth for remarks. So let's say I'm having a double lesson. Here, double lesson goes for 80 minutes. I'll spend the first 10 minutes doing lesson introduction. And the lesson introduction, I'll start by reviewing the previous lesson and then link it to the current lesson. I will also briefly introduce the topic, state the objectives, let's say show them a short video just to grab their attention and to set the stage for my lesson. From there, I move to lesson development, where I spend 20 minutes explaining to them step-by-step explanations and teaching them a new skill that I want them to learn at the end of the lesson. Then afterwards, I put them in groups and allow them to practice the new knowledge in their groups. I'll be moving around the class just to ensure that everything is in place, and then I will allow a member from every group to stand and do a presentation of their work. They can decide whichever method they want to use to do the presentation, either digital, written report, and so forth. From there, I use 10 minutes for question and answer to check understanding, to check how far my objectives have been achieved, and the one which is not clearly achieved, I review it in my next lesson and probably re-strategize my teaching method to ensure that all my learners understand. Then lastly, I'll spend the last 10 minutes doing lesson summary, or rather exit ticket. Under the exit ticket, I'll give them a YouTube link or an app like Zeraki to go and practice what they have learned at home. I will also leave them with an assignment. Two teaching strategies that I normally effectively use in my classroom. I prefer using differentiated instruction because I believe that my learners are abled differently. Therefore, it is up to me as the teacher to provide multiple opportunities for each learner to shine. And some of the differentiated instructions that I use is grouping, whereby I form temporary groups based on the needs of the learners, their skills and interests. Within the groups, I'm able to incorporate other strategies such as peer teaching, IEP, that is individualized education program, and project-based learning. And this helps me to foster collaboration and teamwork amongst themselves. I also like doing hands-on activities like experiments, simulations, just to make the more abstract concepts such as the contact process to become more accessible to my learners. When somebody enters my classroom, the learning activities that they are likely to find, my class is normally an interactive one, and I do this to ensure that their energy levels remain high and their concentration is also not lost. So you'll find them doing debates and discussions just to enable them or to help them articulate their ideas well. You'll find us doing hands-on activities like practical experiments, and the learners normally view them like magic. When you put sodium metal in water and it starts darting on the surface, the water becomes hot. They see that like magic, and I normally enjoy that so well with them. We also do a lot of simulations and games just to make our learning fun and engaging. The methods I use to evaluate my learners' progress include both formative and summative tests. Under formative tests, I use them during learning to allow room for re-strategizing my instruction. The formative tests include short quizzes, RATs and CATs. For RATs stand for random assessment test, CAT stand for continuous assessment test. Summative, I use them at the end of a unit, at the end of the course, or at the end of the year. And the two tools help me greatly to assess my learners' progress. Technology in class and my experience with the smart board. Today's generation is tech savvy. Therefore, it is up to me as an educator to encourage them to use these resources to their advantage to make learning more interesting. I normally place my assignments online. I like using Google Docs. This is an awesome app that ensures and allows multiple students to work on the same document. And I, as the teacher, am able to access their feedback immediately, and I'm able to tell what they're doing and how they're faring on with the assignment. The smart board, through the digital learning program in our county, we were lucky to have received a smart board from Lewa Wildlife Conservancy, and I must admit that this is a game changer. Just with the touch of the screen, you are able to access a number of digital resources, including videos, YouTube videos. They are just there on the touch of the screen. You can access all that. Number two, whatever I write while teaching my learners on the smartboard, I can be able to save it and even publish it and give it to my learners. Therefore, the smartboard is something that every teacher dreams to have in their class. For noisy and non-attentive students, I use a number of classroom management skills. These include nonverbal cues, like I can just give them a sharp eye contact and they realize that whatever they're doing is not correct. For example, when we were growing up, our mothers could give us that sharp look whenever we are misbehaving and maybe there are visitors around, and you will just know that you are doing something wrong. Remember, when we are in school, we put on various hats. We put on the hat of a teacher, we put on the hat of a counselor, and the hat of a mother as well. I will also maybe move to where this child is seated and give them a tap on the shoulder just to make them know that whatever they were doing is wrong and to bring their attention back to class. The most difficult problem I've had to deal with is dealing with a disgruntled parent. So there's this parent who comes storming into my office why I sent her child to tell her to replace a lost book. So the parent insists, I cannot replace the book because it was lost in school. It is up to you teachers to look for the book and stop disturbing me to tell me to buy a new book. And at this point I practice calmness. I tried my level best to be as calm as possible. I also did some empathy, tried to put myself in the shoes of this parent, and I allowed her to outpour all her frustrations without interjecting her. Then afterwards, I was able to explain to her the school policies regarding lost items, and guess what? We came to an amicable resolution and she accepted to replace the book. At this point, I really felt a lot of satisfaction and I told myself, truly, I have matured in this profession. An example to show that I'm a flexible person. I'm one person who embraces change with a positive mindset because I know that change is inevitable. So there was this time early last year, first term, when we had floods that wreaked havoc in our entire country, and this made us to delay in opening our schools. So having a candidate class, I was not just going to sit and allow things to flow by the wind. I decided I needed to engage my students while still at home. So I checked a lot of YouTube videos on how to use the Google Classroom, the Google Docs. That is when I learned about them. I didn't have much expertise before, but after that moment, I realized I can be flexible, and my learners posted a positive improvement index that year, and I was so happy. Thank you. Hope to see you soon.